We now return to Let's Play Cleopatra. This time we're in the Ancient Conquerors campaign. Egypt has many envious neighbors, and they look upon our rich empire the way a hyena pack crowds a lion's kill. Can you build and command the armies and fleets necessary to defeat these serious threats and defend the Nile Delta against successive invasions by the Sea People, Assyrians, and Persians? Egypt looks to you for protection. Great. Just what I love in my city builders.
The rumblings of distress and discontent to the west have become more ominous recently. Scouts report that several barbarian tribes speaking strange tongues have arrived on the shores of Kiranaka to our west. To make matters worse, these peoples now walk hand in hand with Mariak, the son of Deed, king of the Libyans and Pharaoh's enemy. Word has now reached Pharaoh Manerta that these vile people, with all their women, children, and worldly possessions close behind, will soon be headed eastward toward the fertile Nile Delta, our homeland, in search of a place to settle. Already there have been minor clashes at the northern oasis of Siwi and Farafa. Your delta town of Payer now stands in their way. In a short while, this slow-moving band of savages could be on your doorsteps. Pharaoh has decreed that should they arrive, they must not be allowed to penetrate further. You will need to import wood from which to construct sturdy warships and copper for weapons. It is your fortune that the previously troublesome Hittites are now peaceful, thanks to the great victory at Kadesh by Ramses II, sire of the beloved Manet. Make your town strong, and brace your loyal troops for mortal combat.
Alright. Well, this mission is going to have a little bit more of a military, well, this whole campaign is going to have more of a military focus than previously, which is just great. Kind of a waste of time in my opinion, just because of how the game plays out, but anyway, we have access to, what? Grain, chickpeas, so two types of food, doesn't do me any good there, unless I want to use one as exportation. We can do clay, okay. Clay for brick making, which we're going to use for exporting, and pottery, which we'll use for exporting. We do not have access to barley, so we'll have to import that for brewing, which we can then turn around and also export. We're going to have a lot of exporting this time around because we are going to have to import wood and copper for the building of a large military. I do not know if these guys actually swim. Hopefully we don't have to deal with them. So really, I think we can get this all done over here. 2,500 people is not huge housing block wise. And in fact I could make 3 small housing blocks if I had to, but I think I'll do housing blocks over here. Just looking at these, and then we'll do our industrial down here. We are going to have all of this shoreline used mostly for warships and docks. So we can't even put anything there. We're going to need, okay, so we're going to also need transport, but I don't know that we need a lot of transport. The stupid thing in this game is that the infantry units are different transport-wise than just regular water crossing. I do not understand that, but we apparently will need to ferry them across with that. Let me do... So I can't even get 2 warships on this side, so we may as well not even bother. I really don't want to do too many troop transports over there, but we will need to do, unless we can do a long bridge, which of course we can't. Those didn't come until later, so we'll need ferry landing, basically meaning that that gets used up, and that gets used up, and that leaves me room for maybe 1 warship. Really, the less I have to do over here, because I think I can get most of my food growing and all that over here. All we need from this side is reeds, so that's not a huge amount of industrial that we need to focus on over there. So why don't we get that started here then? I'm just trying to think, because I want maybe a distribution center right here. And then probably we're going to need at least one batch of, well, no, you know, if I make the work camps here, then they can still access both of those. Okay, I think we can do this. So we'll do, let's actually think about that first. Should I leave 2 or 3? We'll leave 3. A road, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go back. We'll go back. So we'll go right there. And then it's going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a road here. So that corner is going to be useless to me because I'm going to have to build it right there. Okay, maybe this won't work out so well after all. Maybe I should actually bring it in so we have a road going this way. So that's 2, 3, 4. Okay. That'll be the first one. And then we can also actually probably do another short one here. If I do 1, 2, I mean, it doesn't have to line up in that fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. Alright, and actually I could maybe even do some distribution on that side, but there's a few things I do have to remember. You know, obviously the palace and my own abode. So we will be leaving some room for them. Putting it up in here. See, the thing is, I don't know where we might get invaded from. So if they come from this way, I'm not going to have a whole lot of room here. I'm going to have to put maybe a fort there. So we're not going to have a hell of a lot of attack time. What else do we need right away? Obviously we need water. And we'll need fire housing. And architects. It's just going to send them off the other way. We'll just have to keep doing this roadblock nonsense. So that's the basics. If I do... See, there's not going to be any reason... Not that. Not going to be any reason to go beyond this point with a roadblock. So we can do that there. And then we can just have someone wandering this way. We'll have to adjust that road, because if I'm going to do docks or anything, it needs to come in along that side. So we will actually bring it down here. And then of course that will come down into this. So my idea here for the distribution center will actually work out, but it won't really, actually, because that's going to be too close. That's going to create some really bad appeal problems. I mean, I guess I could do it down here, and then they would have to wander through a city or a block. I mean, that'd be okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad, actually. And so long as we put a house where their walkers can go, we'll be fine. put one here. Yeah, that'll work out. Okay, what gods do we have? Osiris and Set. Or Seth. We will want to keep him close because we're going to need him for our military. Okay, so we got that going. Let's actually get some kind of housing going here. Shall I do... I guess it doesn't matter which end I go. You know what? Let's put that over here instead. Game, catch up. What the fuck? Alright. And then after that, we will do... a work camp. Let's do a work camp there. And I'm going to ratchet this down for a minute because I'm going to need to do farms. Would it actually be better to come in that way? It seems like it widens out to a point where we can actually... So I was thinking we'd just run long roads that way, but that's not actually very optimal. What is it like when we get out here? So maybe that would work out in the end. Game, come on. I think we'd get more by coming in from this side with it. But I don't necessarily want to use this, because maybe I'll have to use a small industrial block there to get that going. In fact, I don't think this is going to work out in the end. We're going to have to close this off into its own loop, and then probably there for a loop in order to get all the people that we need. This one, I don't think we're going to have a choice. I think this one's going to have to be like this. But it's going to have to come out this way. Do we want grain right now? We will if we're going to do bricks, so we may as well do that first. That's not super great. Man, look at that. This is just all kinds of messed up. Because I could get something in there. But if we don't do that instead... Hold on, maybe... Because if I lay this out in such a way, I can also utilize irrigation ditches. I was really hoping, man, this just doesn't... Whatever they fucking did when they laid this out, they just made a mess of it, didn't they? They just threw things down wherever they wanted. Get out of the way. So we're just gonna make spaghetti, I guess, in order to get everything in. That'll probably do for now. I don't know that I need an irrigation ditch going all the way there. That's irritating. Anyway, back down to here. Get the granary going. Right now it will accept all this stuff. It'll be fine. We'll get... I don't know, maybe I should lay out this thing right now. We're actually looking at several loops here. Because I could just make a big area. Well, let's do, we're gonna need probably a recruiter down here. So that might affect how I use my roads here. I think I do need to just make this a little bit better. I think I need to maximize some of this space down here. I feel like the amount of industry we are going to require is going to be a little excessive. Probably a lot more beyond what I initially think. Which means right now I'm going to cut that off. Cut that off as well. Because I don't want too much going on here at the moment. I don't want them getting lost. But this is... we're going to have a big bunch of crap going on down there. Speaking of big bunch of crap... there. Now that eats into exactly what I wanted to use for a store yard, so let's not do that. God damn it. I do get tired of this stuff. I mean, I guess we could put the village palace back here. It doesn't really have to have anything. Alternatively, that would fit here, because I'm not going to be able to do much this way, am I? I guess I could. Yeah, we'll put it there, that's fine. Because then I can at least put a few of the single buildings down here and then still have place for a road if I want to run something this way. Which, given that, I could also do here. And mirror that. And now we have an issue, because they're going to be looking for people along this road, because of course they are. You think that's going to be too far? I think that'll be too far. So how do I remedy that? There really isn't a way. Aside from just putting a house here. Okay. Displeased, right. We should probably begin putting down some temples. Can I maybe get this over here? I mean, really, for using the limited amount of space I've got, it would actually be better to put a temple to Osiris veering off on one of those. Like right there. And then for good measure, we can do something like Shrine to Osiris there. For right now, that should be fine. Seth is resentful. That is not what we want. We definitely do not want that. We could probably turn this off, but I don't think I can actually turn this building off. So this is... Well, we're okay. So I need to ratchet down a little bit more. Let's go look for a trade partner. Having to set up both a military infrastructure and the housing infrastructure at the same time is kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, so we can sell beer here. We can also sell chickpeas. So this is a good trade partner. Byblos would also provide me with that. I can't provide them with anything else. It might be good just to get this, just so that we have a constant supply, but I don't know if I want to do that just yet. But that's way out there. They will buy straw, and they will buy chickpeas. They will ultimately give me nothing that I need. They will buy beer. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna need someone who can give me barley. There you go. They'll buy the bricks. Okay, so that makes them a useful partner. They will buy nothing that I need, sell me nothing that I need. They'll buy beer and sell nothing that I need. Well, people that buy are ultimately more useful because the game only purchases so much. So like we want to sell them pottery. We'll want to sell them the beer. We actually can also sell them the papyrus. In fact, I don't even need the papyrus. I could do without that. It's a major trade export though, so I guess I do need that for the money. They'll sell barley. Okay. So who did I decide not to? That one does me no good. They buy stuff I don't need, so maybe we'll do tire. Linen, can't do anything with that. They'll buy grain, I don't need to worry about that. Byblos, yeah, I don't need them either at the moment. I think we'll be fine. The low amounts of importing I think I'm going to do should be fine, should see me through that. Okay, so let's think about, maybe a store yard here. So if I'm going to do that, no working dock, I'm aware. Hold on. So I can set, well, I guess I've got this either way. Putting this here is probably a good idea. A little bit closer. One of these is going to be just 3 long, and the other is going to be 4 wide, I should say, not long. But I could actually maybe do it along here, because then I can bump that road up to this. That does limit some spaces there, but it opens up the end here. I don't know, like I said, this is going to be a mess. Start to finish, this is just going to be a mess. So we'll get that going, we'll get a dock. I don't even know. So I don't actually have to set up industry over here. I can get them to wander over here and bring it back so that everything is protected over here. My biggest concern is just that. I know I'm going to need warships, and with limited amount of space, I do not want to be using up a lot of valuable space like that. There really isn't a lot of room. So I guess the first thing I'll do, because I've got to have an equal focus on getting docks for exporting and then also warships. But what, like 3 warships, do you think? Maybe I'm overthinking this for the difficulty this is on. God damn it. I don't understand why it takes so long for the undo thing to process. It just seems really stupid. Is that not even connected? Okay. The graphic for this is so difficult to look at and judge what it's actually doing. Yeah, this loop thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that shit out. So we do have a recruiter. Maybe I should go ahead and get started with some forts. Do not need, apparently, weaponry for these guys, so maybe I should just get one of them out. And we'll get that started. Just start putting in for some of that. We've got a few people still coming in. That's good. How are the gods feeling? Apathetic? We're still preparing a festival here now. Okay. I, of course, did not leave myself any expansion room for things like dancing platforms and whatever, so I'm sure that's going to come back and bite me at some point. But anyway, the foundations for this are at least started a little bit. One last thing I did want to do. Storeyard down here. For straw. And we'll do half and half. And then that way I can begin selling bricks, at least early on. We'll start getting the clay pits and all that going. So, okay, well, I mean, I don't know how much time we have before all the action kicks off. Hopefully I've got a while yet, because I honestly don't have a lot of infrastructure going here. And it does make me nervous that I'm not going to have enough. I think in order to hit the population, I am going to have to at least give them pottery this time around. So we will have that to set up. But anyway, oh geez, I'm going to end this one here. I will see you next time.